morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Games. My name is Jason.
Hey, this is Alex.
And today we are going to talk about Nintendo's upcoming 2022 schedule and what else could be coming that year. And we're also going to talk about how today is the 25th anniversary of the Nintendo 64. And we are blessed that these games are going to be coming to the Switch. So we thought we'd just go over some of our favorite games, maybe what we're excited about and the possibility of some games that could be coming. So, why don't we talk about that first?
The N64?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, we're getting, as we saw in the last Direct from last week, that Nintendo Switch Online will be getting a few N64 games in their upgraded expansion pack tier for the service, and it included like Mario 64, not Paper Mario, Mario Kart.
Well, Paper Mario's coming.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario's coming. And some of the other stuff, some of the other like well-known games, Ocarina of Time. But yeah, there's so many games on N64 that I would love to see come to the system. And hopefully we get those down the line. They did that little thing where they were like, and stay tuned for these other games coming, and showed like Banjo and Majora's Mask, and I think Mario Golf was on there. So that's cool that all that's coming.
Yeah.
But there was definitely some notable omissions.
Oh yeah.
The big one that stood out to me was Donkey Kong 64 not being a part of that.
Yeah, that's funny you said that, because I was actually kind of anticipating that to be one of the like first ones.
Yeah.
Only because like it wasn't like this huge game, but it's also like clearly one of their main first party, characters. So it's not like I don't know, it just seemed like a good fit.
Right. And it seems like they're we actually just got that news about like a Donkey Kong Land coming to Universal theme parks, which is awesome. I can't wait to see that. And then they also showed that Donkey Kong is going to be a part of the Super Mario movie from Illumination. So it would make sense that they wanted as much. Yeah, Seth Rogen. Still just fucking mind blowing. It would make sense that they would want as much Donkey Kong exposure as possible, I would think. But maybe they're just like, Donkey Kong 64. Whatever.
I mean, they could also be waiting. I mean, at the same time, because some of that's not till later. There's kind of like a rumor about a possible Switch Donkey Kong game. Maybe they're just kind of gonna save it for once that stuff gets announced or something, and then they could be like, and this month
for sure.
That's definitely possible. But yeah, that was a glaring omission. That game. This is probably with a lot of these N64 games. Like, I remember playing them, but I'm sure I didn't complete it. I definitely don't think I completed Donkey Kong 64, but I definitely remember playing it, and I remember liking it. I know it hasn't, like, when I look now, it usually kind of gets trashed on, or at least is mentioned as not as great of a game, but I don't know. I remember having fun with it.
I remember it being a lot of fun. I also remember I got it after I got a PS2, because it came out very late in the N64 life cycle, so, like, I was more excited about my PS2 than playing another N64 game, but I did play it, but I definitely did not beat it. And I think what people don't like so much about this game is that it's just the biggest collect-a-thon ever. Like, you just collect, like, if you think Banjo is a collect-a-thon with the jiggies and the notes and everything, like, Donkey Kong 64 is that times 10. Like, you just have to find all this shit, like, all over the game.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I'm not harping on it for that. But if you're not into that kind of thing, then you would hate this game.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I was just gonna quickly say one game that I know for a fact won't be on the service, but since it's the anniversary, I gotta mention. I wish we could get NFL Blitz.
Oh man.
I'm sure they can't do that because they probably only had the rights for of the NFL names for a while, but God, that game was awesome.
Cordell Stewart on the cover. Steelers legend, Cordell Stewart.
God, I just remember, you just rock people.
NFL Blitz is awesome. Blitz, I remember Blitz 2000 Gold Edition. For some, I don't even know if I ever saw the regular edition of Blitz 2000. I've only ever seen Gold Edition, so I don't know what that means, but those Blitz games are so much fun.
Yeah.
It'd be sweet to have those, but I don't think we're getting those.
Yeah. You can go. We'll just switch back and forth any games that we like.
Sure. One that I would love to see come is two are the sports games that Nintendo developed: Wave Race 64 and also 1080 Snowboarding.
Yep.
Those are two franchises that I don't think either of their sequels. They both were on GameCube. 1080 Avalanche and Wave Race Blue Storm, I think they were called. Those both were kind of letdowns. I remember when I tried them. I don't know why. I can't tell you why because it's been probably 15 years since I played them, but I just remember not liking those as much and going back to the 64 versions and thinking, oh wow, these still hold up. These are still a lot of fun. So those I would love to get on the service, and I would love new games on the Switch for those.
Kind of piggybacking off that, a game I want. Those games are both awesome, but another snowboarding game I loved was Snowboard Kids.
Hell yeah.
That game was awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, it was just pretty much like a Mario Kart type game but snowboarding, and like you would get to the bottom of the mountain, and then you got back on the chairlift and rode back, because it would be laps. And so you'd like get on the chairlift and ride up and do another lap. Yeah, that game was really, really fun. For anyone who hasn't played it, that's the best description. It's like Mario Kart, but you're snowboarding, and so like you have items that you shoot at people and stuff like that. It's really fun.
Yeah, I love Snowboard Kids. I hope that makes it on there. Who developed Snowboard Kids?
I just looked it up. Who is it? Let's see.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. One that I haven't heard anyone mention is Mystical Ninja starring Gomon. This is from like the Legend of Mystical Ninja franchise. I remember like plowing through this game. I got it on like a random weekend in middle school and just plowed straight through it and loved every second of it. This was developed and published by Konami, and I feel like they would be like, yeah, sure, pay us a little bit of money and you can put our games on the the service, because I feel like that's what Konami's doing right now. Like I don't know what else they're doing, making pachinko machines, but the game is so fun. It's just, if you played the Super NES one and like that, this is just that on N64 with 3D graphics, and it's really fun.
Nice. So one that I'm really hoping that we get is Mega Man 64, which was on PlayStation. It was Mega Man Legends.
Right.
And then when it came on 64, it was called Mega Man 64. I never played it on the 64, but I did play it on PlayStation, Mega Man Legends. And like, I've kind of been waiting for I don't know, I've been waiting for like a remake of those games or something like that. If we're not going to get those, I'd love that if they could bring it to the 64 online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game. If anyone played it, it was just like a 3D Mega Man game, like a world with like a whole story, and it was a little clunky, but I still really
it was definitely a little bit of a clunker of a game, but it was if you like Mega Man, like you'll love that game.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another one that's kind of a bundle deal. Any of the old wrestling games, like WCW NWO Revenge or WWF No Mercy.
Yep.
I remember pulling like putting on Revenge and having 4 players, and you could go over, do a 4-player free-for-all match and go over to the side and pull a chair or a baseball bat from behind the gate and just go whack your opponent in the face with these weapons. And I don't know, in middle school, obviously that brings you a lot of joy, but
or just
I think that would still be
jump off the top rope on people.
Yeah, off the top rope, do a ladder match, jump off a ladder on somebody, all of that stuff. Those games were so fun.
Yeah,
and I preferred those. Like, they were like kind of arcadey, compared to the WWE games we've gotten. I mean, the last couple sucked, but I remember, I think like 2016 or 17 was the last good one. But those were more like simulation games, and I didn't think they were as fun. The N64 wrestling games, though, if they bring those to the Switch and add the add online play to them, I mean, that would be so
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, I would play that a lot.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be awesome. Now, one that I was expecting you to say first, Diddy Kong Racing. We got
well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that should go without saying.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it's as likely as non-likely anymore. With the banjo being released, just because this is probably Diddy Kong Racing is probably the closest to. So who is in that is rare?
Banjo and Conker, and then there were two. I think there were two other characters who, for some reason, Rare retained the rights to, but I can't tell you who they are.
Wouldn't you think? Not saying that it's gonna happen, but if they got Banjo, I would think the next game they would be able to get would be Diddy Kong Racing, just because it's all Donkey Kong characters, for the most part. It's kind of just I'm not saying that's for sure, but if you were only gonna get 2 games from Rare, and they're paying them whatever they got to pay them for a couple games, I would think it would be Banjo and then Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, it's not gonna be GoldenEye.
No, it won't be GoldenEye.
And I think you're right. I mean, stuff like Blast Core or Jet Force Gemini, maybe would be easier to get on the Switch. I don't know, but just because I think Microsoft might still have plans for Conker somewhere down the line. So maybe they don't want.
I would think they would have plans for Banjo over anything.
You would think. You would fucking think so. But apparently they are content to just not do anything with him, which is a shame. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how it could go both ways in the sense, because I was going to say Perfect Dark. So that they're making a new Perfect Dark, and it's Microsoft is making a new Perfect Dark, and it's in that sense, I would say, okay, so that's not going to be on the N64 Online. But at the same time, it's I guess that could be a marketing tactic in a way. If you put it on the Switch 6 months before, I don't know, more people would play it. Right. Yeah, I think maybe we're headed down that road where Nintendo and Microsoft are friendly like that.
Yeah.
I hope. Because
I mean, I would think if the original Perfect Dark went on 64 Online on the Switch, it would sell more copies than it would have if it wasn't.
Right. I don't think it's not gonna hurt it. Right. It's not gonna. People aren't gonna be like, well, I have the N64 one, so I'm not gonna buy the Xbox Series X one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, but anyways, probably not. But the only other one I had was Pokemon Stadium. Those
gotta be on there.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's Pokemon Company. Well, I guess they said Pokemon Snap was going to be on there, so I could see Pokemon Stadium. I don't know how much that holds up nowadays, because there's so much
could be rough.
Yeah, it could be rough because it's really just fighting Pokemon, which now that's kind of what Legends Arceus is going to be anyways, and so maybe, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be as great, but I liked that game when it came out.
Yeah, I did too, and plus, they would have to make the transfer pack for Switch, so we could put our Game Boy games on the Joy-Con. A couple quick hitters I think would be cool to come on the Switch service would be Beetle Adventure Racing, just because it's so goofy with a Beetle, Volkswagen Beetle licensed racing game. Any of the San Francisco Rush games, preferably Rush 2049. Pilot Wings 64. Would be really cool, which also turned 25 today somehow. You said Harvest Moon 64 was awesome. It'd be cool to see that on there. And we did get actually a tease from the developer Treasure, who made Mischief Makers, which was a cool N64 platformer game. And I think the one that they have coming out on launch is the weird one, Win Back, third party title that's coming on launch day.
Yeah, I've never played that. Everyone I've online has kind of been Win Back, I never played that.
I never played it either. I just can remember. I think I mentioned this last week. I can remember seeing it at Blockbuster, going in there, but I was always like, "What the hell is this? I don't want this."
I'll probably try it now.
Yeah, I'll definitely try it now. It'd be cool to get the original Smash for online play if the online works.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah, I'm super pumped about that. I'm the second it comes out, I'm starting up Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't wait. Yeah. So anyways, happy 25th birthday to the N64.
Yeah, hell yeah, N64 rules.
Go ahead.
Okay. The other news thing we had, Bloomberg put out a report that 11 different developers have 4K dev kits for the Switch, which, you know, obviously that's a big deal because that would lead people to believe that maybe a next-gen Switch would be coming out in the next year or so. If they're developing 4K games and the Switch doesn't play 4K now, you would think that means down the road we will get a 4K Switch. But Nintendo's actually shortly after this story came out.
Immediately after.
Yeah.
Like within an hour or two after the story coming out, they just shut it down.
They just squashed it so hard. They just took the steel chair to Bloomberg's report.
Yeah.
And they said this is I'm reading the tweet directly. A news report on September 30th, 2021 falsely claims that Nintendo is supplying tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. To ensure correct understanding among our investors and customers, we want to clarify that this report is not true. We also want to restate that, as we announced in July, we have no plans for any new model other than Nintendo Switch OLED model, which is still launching on October 8th, 2021. So they were just like, no, you're wrong.
They are really hammering on Bloomberg.
They are. But also, Bloomberg's putting this stuff out because it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But I also think that Nintendo wouldn't just straight up lie. I don't think Nintendo would just be like, that is not true. If it when it's dealing with something like that, and they're saying this is a message for our investors, this is not true. So yeah. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of mix up.
What was the deal with the Switch Lite? Weren't they we don't have plans for any future iterations of Switch at this time? And then a month later, they were here's the Switch Lite.
No, they said we don't have plans to announce. We don't have plans to announce of any new hardware at this time or in the near future.
Okay. And this is them saying we have no plans to launch anything other than OLED.
It's more so just that they're saying this isn't true. We didn't give dev kits. I feel like they wouldn't say that if they did. I don't know. But I do agree that like we've said, Bloomberg's pretty in the know. I'm sure that something is, they had to have heard from someone. So who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. The Bloomberg article said that, again, it was 11 different developers ranging from large publishers to small studios. And one of them was Zynga Inc. Don't they make mobile games? They've never made a console game before, so that's kind of interesting. But, so yeah, if Nintendo didn't give 4K dev kits out to 11 developers, then who did?
Yeah. Take this.
Yeah. So yeah, that's happening. It'd be cool to get if this were true and Nintendo's just lying, we would not see it before holiday next year.
Yeah. We won't see it before holiday next year. And at this point, I'm kind of hesitant to think that too. I originally thought that we would. But the more I'm like, I don't know. I'm just about to get an OLED. I'm not even saying they can't do that to me. Make me buy another one. Make me buy another one in a year. I just almost think they might want to let it breathe for a little longer. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? They could be it's not out of the realm at this point to just put out the OLED for 2 years and then have the next Switch and just have it be the Switch 2 or something like that. I don't know. I feel that's more believable at this point.
Yeah, for them to do a full next gen rather than a Pro.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure. I mean, it would if they held off on 4K for this generation, then it would incentivize people to buy the next gen whenever that happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so the next thing that we wanted to talk about is, and I didn't really have like a format to talk about this, but mainly what I was just after that direct, I was kind of thinking about like all the possibilities. Well, all the games that are announced right now for 2022, and then things that are rumored and things like that. And if we have everything that's been announced actually comes out in 2022 right now, plus a couple of these things that are rumored, even just one or two of them, it could be the best year for the Switch.
Well, I mean,
listen here. Listen. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So here's what's announced: Legends Arceus, January. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is spring 2022. Splatoon 3, Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. The sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and Bayonetta 3 and Triangle Strategy are all announced right now. So let's just say Breath of the Wild 2 is just as good as Breath of the Wild 1 or better, right? Let's say Kirby is pretty amazing. Let's say Pokemon Legends is pretty amazing. And then we have a Donkey Kong game that comes out that's rumored. That is an amazing game. Could be near the level of like a 3D Mario game or a Metroid Prime remake. That would be absolutely incredible. So anyways, let me say this. There also are a few things that are rumored. So those are the things that are announced. And as of right now, we've been hearing a lot about a Donkey Kong game that people were thinking it could be the end of this year, could be next year, but it sounds like the Odyssey team is working on that. So I guess I'm really using that to base my could it be as good as 2017. I mean, if the Odyssey team is able to make a Donkey Kong game that's as good as Odyssey, then we're getting a Breath of the Wild, we're getting an Odyssey level game, and then there's a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, but we're not getting ARMS.
Yeah, well, I would rather play a lot of these games in ARMS personally.
No, I know. I'm just trolling.
Just trolling.
Yeah. The wild card is the Donkey Kong game, because if the Mario team is making some new crazy Donkey Kong game, that could definitely be, that could put this over the top for sure. And also it depends on like the quality of Arceus, because that it could go either way. I think I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun, but it could fall flat. We don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Arceus will be good. I just I'm definitely cautious. Like it could be not amazing. I mean, like it could just be all right.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying something new.
Yeah, there's definitely potential for that. So yeah, there is that Donkey Kong. They did, just like you said, they announced that there's going to be an expansion to the park next December.
Right. Yeah.
And
or it's going to open in 2024.
Oh, okay.
It was a surprise announcement that, like, I don't know why they needed to put that out there now, but they just said in Universal Studios Japan, we're opening the Donkey Kong themed expansion to Nintendo World in 2024, which is just wild. And that'll probably open when the one in Florida opens at that Epic Universe Park. It'll probably open with Donkey Kong, and I'd be surprised if Universal Hollywood got it, because they're limited on space, but they could do it. So yeah, they're doing Donkey Kong. They're pressing Donkey Kong, which is cool. So I mean, if the Mario team is making a new Donkey Kong game, and it's just unlike anything we've seen before, I think you're right. I think then, yes, this has potential to be the best year for Switch ever.
Yeah. So then another thing that has came up recently is, there's been a lot of talk about this Metroid Prime Trilogy, that it's been, it's been ready forever, all this stuff. And then when things kind of started to change, I don't have the quotes right in front of me, but within the last month, maybe it was like a month ago, Nate the Hate was saying on Etc. He was pretty much saying, he kept kind of hinting at, like, he was saying, he posted a few times saying something like, from what I've heard, like, the Metroid Prime trilogy wasn't ever just sat on and finished. People were kind of given a little bit of misinformation. He said that they were working on something, and he said from what I've heard, what they're working, it changed. Their plans changed, and they changed for the better. And he said that a few times in different words. And then on September 22nd, Emily Rogers tweeted. She said, "Re the Prime trilogy. Last I heard, Nintendo was busy working on Metroid Prime 1 to celebrate the game's 20th anniversary in 2022. I'm not sure if we're getting a trilogy or just a re-release of the first game. I'm leaning toward the latter, but I hope we get the former." And then I believe Nate chimed in and said something along the lines of, "I can back up what Emily said. From what I understand, there's going to be a full big effort for a remake of Metroid Prime 1 as a standalone, and then we could be getting just HD like ports of 2 and 3 standalone as well." And then just today, or I think it was that today on the Jeff Grubb said something along the lines of on that Nintendogs, or it could have been on the other podcast they have. He said something along the lines of, rumors around this have kind of been swirling, and now that I look back, like it was never really told to me 100% that it is the trilogy that was kind of they've been working on for a long time. It could just be that one. So I say all of that. That's long-winded, but we could be getting a full remake of the original Metroid Prime next year, which
that'd be incredible. Awesome. Yeah. If they do a Metroid Prime 1, Prime 1 to me is the best one of the Prime.
Yeah.
If they do a full remake of that game, that's completely unexpected and also amazing. That is definitely plans changing for the better.
Yeah.
Do you think they would add twin stick controls?
Oh, 100%.
Or would they just keep it tank?
No. If it's a full remake, they would add twin stick, 100%.
Yeah. People, I feel like, this is going to make me sound old, but I feel like if they were just to port it with tank controls, then younger people would be like, what the hell's this?
How am I supposed to play?
Like, 100%. People would be so mad. They'd be like, well, I don't get why this game's good.
Yeah, 100%. It is like weird. I played it on, what did I play it on? I think I played it on an emulator or something, and I was like, whoa, I forgot how weird these controls are.
Yeah.
They
are hard to get used to now, but
that would be awesome. I for a long time I was hoping for the Prime trilogy. I still am. But if we just got the first one and it was a full remake, I would be more than happy with that.
That's better, I think.
Yeah, I think
getting
so too.
the trilogy ported.
Just like up-res, yeah. I agree. I think so too, because that is probably the best one, at least in most people's opinion. And so, yeah, Emily said they were working on it for the 20th anniversary of that game, which is next year. So,
how insane is it to get a Metroid Prime remake before a Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine remake? Yeah. Like that's wild.
Yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense in the sense of the whole thing about the Prime trilogy was we're gonna wait, or at least what everyone was saying is they probably want to wait before to lead up to Metroid Prime 4, and I mean what a better way to, let's say Prime 4 is winter of 2023. You do a full remake of the best one in that series and market it almost like it's a new game to like Switch owners.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's a great way to market it because people are all gonna pick that up, especially if Dread does well. They'll be like, okay, now we've got Dread, but like let's see, but let's see what this Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Prime series is like. And they can play it the best way next year, and then the year after that, we get hit with fucking Prime 4. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good marketing plan.
It sounds pretty good, yeah. I hope that that's true. So Prime 4 was announced in 2017, and we might get 2 other Metroid games announced and released before that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think Dread's going to do well. I mean, like at this point, I don't know what well is considered. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think it'll be the best-selling Metroid game. I mean, like
what does it have to top? 3 million?
Yeah, I think Prime is has the highest. Let's see,
3.1 or something.
Sales. Metroid Prime. Here we go. Metroid sales history.
Everything on the Switch sells better. Like every franchise has sold better on Switch than it has on other consoles.
So Metroid Prime is the highest one, and it's 2.82 million.
2.82. I think Dread is.
I think it
100% going to beat that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they've just been marketing it so hard. Everything does better on the Switch. They're treating this as their big holiday title. They're marketing this more than they're marketing the Pokemon games. Like,
they kind of are.
They for sure are. I mean, like I've been getting I get tweets from Nintendo of America. Like I get notifications on my phone, and like so many of them are like the what are they called? Like the Metroid Dread reports or the Metroid reports.
Exactly.
Like, they've just been doing that nonstop. So I think, and it seems like there's a lot of hype around it. I'm not saying it's gonna blow the doors off and be like as big as a Mario or anything like that, but I think it'll sell at least 3.
Yeah, I think so.
That would be a huge success for them. I mean, like they would 100% consider that a success.
Yeah, if it's the best-selling Metroid, then they did well.
Yeah.
There have been some previews from IGN.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. Yeah, 100%.
I didn't read a lot of them, but I remember reading the IGN one, and they were like, this is good, this is good, this is good. The parts with the Emmy robots are bad. And I was like, wait, what? How could any of this game be bad?
No, we're not listening to those previews because I listened to about 6 previews.
Okay.
So I was falling asleep to previews the other night. Put them in
good.
Put them in my earbuds.
Hey babe, I gotta listen to some Metroid previews. So good night.
So if anyone wants to listen to a Metroid Dread preview, I recommend listening to Nintendo Life's because I believe his name is Alex. And you can tell he's a huge Metroid fan. So like he's comparing it to all the other things, and he's hyped. He was like, "This is amazing! Like I cannot wait." He went super in detail about things. One thing he said that sounds awesome. It's such a small thing, but he was saying, like when you're doing boss fights, sometimes not even just bosses, but like bigger enemies. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if you like slide or jump, it'll turn into a cutscene where you're like sliding in slow motion, but you're still in control of Samus. So like you can be sliding under in slow motion and you can shoot.
That sounds amazing.
It like does that in boss fights and stuff. So that just sounds awesome.
That sounds incredible. Yeah, they gotta.
Because he was saying like the first time it happened, he just was like, oh, it's a cutscene. And like Samus didn't do anything. And he was like, what the hell? I thought you were going to do like a big attack. And then he realized later, it's like, oh, you can still control her.
That's awesome. I can't wait for Dread.
Yeah. It sounds awesome. I also during that preview saw the map of just that first area. And it is massive. Like just the map of the first area was like bigger than other Metroid maps. Wow. Full game. So it's like, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. And it comes out in like 9 days from us recording this. Yeah, I cannot wait.
So I'm really pumped. Anyways, we kind of got off topic, but I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's not even a major topic, but just I guess I just wanted to kind of point out, like, man, I think maybe I know it's going to be tough to top 2017. That was like the best year of gaming I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I just think
like one of the best Marios ever and the best Zelda ever is just like unheard of.
But I just think it has the potential to be a crazy year. I mean, if Legends Arceus is good, if Kirby is good, I'm not a huge Splatoon person, but I mean they did have Splatoon 2 in 2017. So for the people who like that, you'll get this Mario plus Rabbids. The first one came out 2017. This one seems like it's going to be better.
That was 2017? I thought that was
pretty
18.
Sure. I mean, it was at the E3 of 2017. So maybe it was. You could be right. Whatever.
I didn't think it came out before Mario Odyssey.
No, it did. Yeah, August 2017.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I think that second one looks like it's going to be better.
Yeah, it does look better.
And yeah, so I mean, all I can say is if we get another Donkey Kong game that is like even somewhat in the realm of an Odyssey game, and then I know a lot of people like Xenoblade. Neither of us are huge fans, but it sounds like there could be a Xenoblade 3, which the Xenoblade 2 was 2017. And then if we got a Metroid Prime remake, like that's insane.
If we got, I mean, the Prime remake, a Donkey Kong, and if Zelda does make it next year,
Yeah.
that's enough for me for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but I
I agree. And that's
thinking about it, like those three things, I'd be super hyped for
sure. And that's not counting the Arceus and Kirby, which both could be really great games.
They could be, for sure.
Yeah. I will say I kind of touched on this on the last podcast, but the more I've watched the Kirby trailer, I'm a little nervous. I'm just a little.
What are you you think? Okay, so do you think it's more of like a open world 3D game, or do you think it's more of Mario 3D world platforming? That's kind of what I think too.
I 100% think it's Mario 3D world. I don't have that big of a problem with that. I'm just worried. I heard someone else, I don't even know who it was. I was listening to some podcast and someone was saying the same thing that I've been thinking. It's like, I just don't want it to be so simple. And I've just like if you rewatch the trailer, there's like multiple instances where it's like, okay, it looks like you don't even have to go past these enemies. Like you can like jump over them and just kind of like go to the left, or I don't know.
You don't have to fight them.
Yeah, I saw multiple instances where it looked like that, and I'm just like, man, I really hope either
just make a game that is like fun to play.
A little difficult. It has to have some difficulty.
It can't play itself.
Yeah,
it cannot play it. You can't put it on and watch Kirby. You got to play Kirby.
Yeah, and I'm not I'm not. You can't make a judgment based on a 1-2-minute trailer. It looked
trailer.
awesome. It looked awesome. That was one of my most excited things from that direct. I'm just cautious because I've been burned by Kirby before.
We've all been burned by Kirby.
Yeah.
There's so many Kirby games, and some are great and some are less great. But that I have high hopes for Forgotten Land. I think it'll be good.
And if we do have an amazing year from Nintendo next year, we can top it all off by going to the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt as Super Mario. Still weird to say.
Yeah. I like the more I've thought about it, and I keep I just keep thinking it's not so much that I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be a train wreck. It's more just like they really went for it. They really they really are
it's a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it's a Hollywood movie. They don't even care that there's this whole world that's been built.
Yeah.
And the characters are a specific way, and they're not gonna be that way.
Not at all.
It's not no one should get their head. No one should think that Chris Pratt is going to try to be Charles Martinet's Mario, because
no, not at
you
all.
wouldn't get Chris Pratt if that's what you wanted.
Right. And he said, he came out and said on an Instagram post or something, he's like, I'm not doing the it's a me voice. That's not what it is. I'm guessing he's just going to put a little Italian twinge on his voice. On his voice, and that's going to be it. And I'm guessing that they were like, well, look at Ryan Reynolds, who did Pikachu, and look at the guy, now I'm forgetting his name, Ben, is it Ben? I just know John Ralphio.
Did Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Ralphio did Sonic. Ben Schwartz did Sonic. And those both turned out okay. I didn't hate Pikachu, but I also thought that it could have been better. But I mean, some people really liked it.
I thought Sonic was all right too.
Sonic was good too, yeah. So I mean, I guess I just hold Mario to a higher standard than Sonic and Pikachu. Yeah. So I'm like, what? Okay. And I don't know. Well,
I don't know what it is. I don't know, because you're right. I mean, you're right. I was thinking when you said the Pikachu, it's I guess Pikachu. But I think it's because with Pikachu, it's all they ever said was Pika Pika, and it was you didn't really think of them as having a personality. It was these characters you kind of feel even though they don't say much, you kind of know their personality.
Yeah. And they just had the Mario 35th anniversary, so he's been around for 35 freaking years. He's got, people have a perception of what Mario the character is, and this is just gonna change it, I guess. Are we gonna get a game next year that's Mario the movie, the game, featuring Chris Pratt's voice in a video game? I doubt it, but I don't. It's just going to be strange. Jack Black as Bowser. I know that Jack Black is a crazy good comedic actor, so I have faith that he could come up with a a voice to do for Bowser, and it'll definitely sound like Jack Black, but it'll be good and funny, and like maybe the same with Seth Rogen for Donkey Kong and Charlie Day for Luigi. Like, I'm excited to see what the rest of the cast does. It's just Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. And then because they set the stage with Chris Pratt, then everyone after that, you're like, what?
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, I actually think Charlie Day will be pretty good.
Yeah, I think he will too.
Pratt's the one who's really like, oh man. But whatever. We went over a lot of different things on this. I don't know if there's one regular topic here. Which is okay.
We touched on a lot. So anyway, circling back to the schedule, it'll be Pokemon Arceus in January, Triangle Strategy in March, Kirby and the Forgotten Land in the spring. If I had to guess, I would say Splatoon 3 and Mario and Rabbids will be summer. And then Zelda, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and Bayonetta 3 in fall/holiday territory. And maybe September could be a spot for like a Fire Emblem remake, and then October again for Metroid Prime remake. That sounds like a year for Nintendo. Sounds pretty good.
A year.
Throw in a Xenoblade somewhere. The thing is, like, I don't know where a massive Donkey Kong game would slot in there.
I don't either. I mean, they could do. Let's see. I mean, it just could be September, October, November, December. Each has a banger.
Yeah, could be.
That'd
be awesome.
And I'm gonna still, when it comes to like the sequel of Breath of the Wild, like,
could slip.
Yeah, it could slip, but until we hear otherwise, I'm gonna keep it for like, I don't think when they said we're aiming for a 2022 release, it's like they're not just saying that to like to be like, don't worry guys, like that's definitely what they're aiming for. So until we hear otherwise, I'm gonna plan on it coming for holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think they just said that to, it's like just in case, like, we're a little bit up against it. So if there's like another delay for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows every 3D Zelda ever, I think, has been delayed.
Always delayed, yeah.
So, I mean, they chose their words with purpose there by saying we're aiming for 2022. And I don't think it's 50-50. Like, I think it's closer to maybe like 70-30 that it is coming out in 2022.
Yeah, I do too. And if it's not, I would bet it's first half 2023.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Halo Infinite here where they just put a year delay on it. But it's going to be an awesome year. All those games are going to look nice on your Switch OLED. I'm still debating if I should keep my OLED model pre-order or not. I don't need it by any means. Yeah, I do want it.
That's what you think until you get it and you pop that baby open. Listen, every single review I've heard of it is as soon as someone turns it on, they're like, oh yeah, I can like instantly tell a difference.
Yeah, I've read that too.
I've heard that multiple times, so it's like, all right, I'm just gonna get it. Like, I know I won't regret it. I know I won't. It's like, whatever. I mean, I get why people won't, and it's fine. I just know. I mean, again, and I've said this before, I play in handheld like 90% of the time.
You do, yeah.
So,
I've been playing more handheld recently too. What are you playing now? Anything?
Yeah, I'm playing Eastward.
Eastward.
Yeah, I'm probably about, I would guess, like 10 hours in. I'm probably like, I think I'm on chapter 4, and I heard that there are 9 chapters or 8 chapters. So I'm about
halfway.
About halfway.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. The music's really good. The level design's really good. The worlds are really good. You didn't play that much yet?
No, I only played like a couple hours.
So yeah, this is not really that much of a spoiler. It's like within the first couple hours, but like it starts out and you're in this, like, how it's kind of like you're in like this, like, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, like underground, like trash world. I don't know what it is. So it starts out there, and like within a few hours, the point of the game kind of starts where you're banished. And so the whole like society believes that above the ground is like, you don't want to go there. and then you get up there and it's like beautiful. It's
awesome.
like a beautiful world. So it's really cool because it's like as soon as you get out of there, it's like green. It's like green grass, like huge cities
Awesome.
and like worlds. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I liked what I played too. But I just got caught up with other games. I was playing Tome, the black and white photo adventure game, which is a lot of fun. But now I even have that on the back burner because I've gone head first deep dive into Castlevania Advanced Collection. I'm almost done with Circle of the Moon. That game is so awesome. Have you played them? I can't remember if you told me.
Circle of the Moon is the only one I haven't played. No way.
Oh, that's the first one that I think it launched with GBA.
I could be wrong. I know I've played Harmony of... No. I don't know. I've played 2 of them.
Okay. Well, I think Circle of the Moon's my favorite. It's like I'm like I said, I'm like over halfway, but I could already see myself playing it again like when I'm done. Wow. Like it's so awesome. I love it so much. The music's incredible. The gameplay is incredible. I love the enemies. I'm like surprised at the variety of enemies and also how many are on screen at once. Like sometimes I'm like, what the hell? Am I playing like a Muso game right now or something? Because there's just enemies everywhere. And some of the sections are hard to get through. The castle layout is really cool. It's an awesome Castlevania game. So I'm playing those right now.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And I got Monkey Ball Banana Mania downloaded, ready for Friday, and obviously Metroid Dread coming out next week. So a lot of good games.
Yeah, I'm trying to especially with it when I start a game like Eastward, it's like I gotta just focus on it, and so like I'm holding off on any games because I'm just like I gotta beat this by the time Dread comes out. So like I just want to beat it within the next 9 days.
Yeah, you better get going.
Yeah, I know.
All right, if you want to tweet at us or Twitter with us, whatever, we're at GM Games Podcast, and you could send us an email at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. You say what's up. Any questions you got, we'll answer them on the pod. But that's it.
All right, thanks guys for listening, and we will see ya.
See ya.